What's up, family? Thank you for tuning in to the Dream Nation podcast. My name is Casanova. I'll be your host, and I'm excited to be bringing to you entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and trailblazers from around the world. Stay locked in with us because we're about to go on a journey that will change your life. What's up, Dream Builder? We are back again. We got an episode today that I'm telling you this is going to inspire you because right now everybody's trying to get in real estate, and rightfully so. Why? Is because they're not making no more land, and you know he or she who owns the land or the real estate on top of the land, they make the rules. So today we got my brother on the line, Mr. O'Neal J. Parker. O'Neal, you want to go ahead and say what's up to Dream Nation?
Yo, what's up, Dream Nation? I appreciate Casanova for having me on. I appreciate being in front of the Dream Nation family. My name's O'Neal, man. I'm just ready to rock the show, man.
Man, absolutely. We got no doubt that you will. Now, the way that I always love to start the show is I compare us as entrepreneurs to superheroes. And the reason being is because we constantly flying around the world. We're putting on our cape. And we're trying to solve some of the world's biggest problems. And I know that that's what you've been doing throughout your real estate career. And we see you on social media, on YouTube, Instagram, Clubhouse, all of the places as that Superman who shows up all the time for the people. But what a lot of the times we don't know is who is that Clark Kent behind the scenes. So tell us, for O'Neal, who's that Clark Kent?
Oh, man. Just a guy, man, trying to help the community. Learn about generational wealth, real estate, just, help in the financial space. So that's just really me, laid back guy, low key, be chilling, but just want to see everybody win and help people out where I can. That's just me on the back end. I'm not really a person that likes to be out there. I'm not really attention seeker. I just like to really chill, I like to chill and watch and see what's going on, but that's also help at the same time.
No, I respect it. I'm sure a lot of people can vibe with that. Now, let's take it back. You say you try to teach people now generational wealth. What was it like growing up for you? Did you grow up with a family who was owning businesses? Did you grow up with a family who was owning land and you saw that there was advantages? Or did you grow up on the opposite side where everybody else was owning the businesses and the land and you felt like you was at a disadvantage?
Yeah. So, talking from our community aspect, most people don't come from nothing or they never been around entrepreneurs. It's kind of different for me. I was always around entrepreneurs. My father talked about generational wealth. He talked about life insurance, things like that. My grandpa was an entrepreneur. He never worked for anybody in his life. He dropped out of school in the third grade. He owned a concrete company. He was making $10,000 a week in the 90s. So that was things I was seeing all the time. My dad never worked for anybody in his life, entrepreneur, own multiple businesses. He's the only African-American to own a building downtown in my area. So I was always around entrepreneurs, people working for themselves, people making money. So that was instilled in me as well. So it was always around, I would always be around them when they was talking and saying different things. I was just taking it and I would, it stayed in me. So I would, think about it and research it later and figure out like, damn, I want to be an entrepreneur too. So it was always in my blood. My dad raised me as in having good credit, save your money. He was like, stay away from credit cards. He taught us that since like young age. And another thing, he was always big on life insurance. He even said, go get life insurance with your friends, because that's what other cultures do. So I was always around, good things. I was not really like, people in our culture on the other side. We was a decent family, I was raised in like a 800 square foot house, family of 5 till the age of 9. And then he built his house. Well, my parents built their house from the ground up, like 4,500 square feet. So we went from like a hut to a nice size house.
Right.
And, just watching all that inspired me to do a lot of things too. So that was just a little bit about me growing up.
Yeah, no, that's what's up. So explain the concept. Hold on. You said this is the first time maybe ever heard of that. Go get life insurance on your friends.
Yeah, so, other cultures do that. So how they come up is they all get life insurance on each other. So, if your friend Bob dies when he's 55, you collect a bag from him. You collect a bag from her.
I didn't know they was letting people do that. So I could just tell, for real?
Yeah.
You got life insurance on any of your partners?
As long as both people agree.
Wow. So then who's paying you got to pay the premium.
So it's like I get life insurance on you. I get $1 million policy on you and I just pay whatever that is a month. It might be $50, $60. And then once you die, I got to get your death certificate presented to the insurance and then I get paid from you.
Got it. So what's, I guess, the stopping you if you like, yo, you know, you got $1 million policy out on me. What stops you from taking a hit out on me?
Hey, I don't know, man. I guess the cops, when they do their research, they got to do their back end research before they give you the money. It's not just
Got
like
it.
they gonna give it to you.
Got it. That's what's up, man. I'm sure somebody listening at that, like, yo, did you know? Because I didn't
Yeah.
know that, but
A
that's
lot of people
interesting.
don't, they don't leverage life insurance anyways, because as your parents get older, it's younger, it's cheaper while they're younger. So
Hmm.
get it while they're alive, and then you just never know. Because my brother passed away at the age of, what did he, I think he was 16 or something. I was 14. Wait, what? No, he was 17. I was 14. I'm sorry. So, we didn't know that. So the
Right,
importance of having life insurance, because you never know. We
man.
don't. We ain't trying to sell fish plates and pork chop plates. We just, do it the right way.
No, I feel you there. So you're growing up, you're an entrepreneur. What makes you decide that you want to do real estate of all things, right? Because you're still relatively young, right? I know I am too, but how old are you right now?
27.
27. So I mean, right now you're in the age, and we both are. We're in the age where everything looks shiny, everything looks cool. You can get into the tech industry, you could get into Amazon, all these things. Why did you decide that you wanted to go into real estate?
Gotcha. So honestly, man, I always wanted to do real estate since I was like maybe 12. Cause like I said, my dad he had a building downtown Lafayette. So I grew up around big buildings, apartment buildings, bank buildings, seeing those things all the time. And I was like, man, who owns these buildings? They got to be making a lot of money. They have tenants. And then of course it's a big building. So it was always something I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to be a real estate agent because I didn't know about real estate investing. So once I got out of college and then purchased my first house, built my first house when I was 21. And I was like, it came back. I was like, man, I need to make some more money. And then real estate came back. And then, I got into real estate like that. So it was always something I wanted to do. And I just got into it.
Got it. Now, did you ever get your real estate license, or you never even got it?
Never got it.
Got it. So
Never
how
got
did you
it.
get started in the real estate game? Because you said, you were 21, you built your first house. What was
Mhm.
your first start in the real estate game?
So first starting real estate was wholesaling real estate. So I did that for 4 months, strictly wholesaling real estate while I had a job. I made started my business with actually $63. I had more money, but all the videos and people, gurus you watch say you can get in this business with little money, no credit. Of course, I thought it was a scam, but I really wanted to figure out if it was true. So got in the game with $63, made 2,000 in 3 weeks, 50,000 in 4 months, over six figures in my first year, and purchased 13 units valued at 1.3 million all in my first year, and also got my first fix and flip.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. So let's back this up, because for somebody that's listening right now and they say, look, I got more than $63. I got a good 500. So I could 10X that just
Yeah.
about. How do I get my start if I want to turn this 500 into 5,000?
Man, it's easy, but it's not really about the money. It's about the mindset and the grind, because real
Mm,
estate, you know, is, look at it. You buy a house, fix a house, sell a house. But if you don't have the mindset for it, you don't have the grind for it, it'll never work for you. So that's why I think the failure rate is so high in real estate, just when it comes to any part of real estate: agent, broker, developer, flipper, wholesaler. The failure rate is so high because people don't have the mindset. It looks easy, but they don't see
mm,
the grind. They don't see waking up early. Like when I started, I used to wake up, go to work at like 5 in the morning, get off, it depends, probably like 5, 6. So working 12-hour shifts. After that, I had to work on my business. I would go write We Buy Houses signs and go put them out. So I'll leave home probably, let's just say 10 at night, go out, put signs, come back at 1, 2 in the morning, get back up at 5 and do it again. A lot of people don't want it. They don't see that grind. They don't see that
right.
back end part. They just see the checks and the money. So you don't have that consistent grind, grinding day in, day out, it'll never work for you. And then, a lot of people don't see that part. They just see the cash and the checks.
Facts. And I mean, it's so tough nowadays because just like you said, with the ads and social media and everything, that's all they're showing you is the checks, right?
Yeah,
They're not showing you the properties that they just lost out on, the investors that they couldn't secure the deal with, and the relationships that they were
yeah,
blowing, right? So
right.
that's where a lot of people, like you said, the failure rate is so high. I always say, just especially in the agent and broker world, it's the easiest business with the lowest barrier to entry to get into, but
Mhm.
it's the hardest to stay in, right?
Right.
Because of that mindset. Now, for you, as you was doing these 12-hour shifts and you was grinding, what was your inspiration to keep going? Did you have a network? Like, did you have a coach? Was your parents like, hey, you better make this work, or otherwise it was gonna be I told you so? What did that look like?
Nah, my parents is like, what is that? Like, And I'm really a low key person, so I didn't really tell them what I was doing. I think I showed them maybe the first 2 checks, really. But if nobody asks me, I'm not gonna just tell you, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So really, the motivation was just I'm self motivated. I don't really need a Greg Cardone video or ET video to get me up and pumping. I'm ready to go as soon as I wake up. But motivation was it like I want to succeed. I gotta if I see. Let's just say I see you doing something. I just see you made a $10,000 check. I was like, if he can do it, why can't I do it? So that was my inspiration. And I was I learned strictly off of YouTube. I started in 16. My first actual real estate event was 2018. I went to Ramon Took's event. The only reason I went because it was free. I'm cheap. I don't like paying for the stuff. I would go to real estate.
Shout out to Ramon. We just had him on the show. Shout out to Ramon.
Yeah, Ramon, that's a brother of mine, man. But I'm a cheap guy, man. I learned from real estate meetups, paying $10 a month and strictly YouTube. And like I said, I'm an action taker. It takes a little bit. If I hear one thing, I'm going along with it. It doesn't take months and months of reading and education for me to get started with anything. If I hear something I like a little bit, I'm taking that, going researching myself and taking action, because success is all about taking action and showing up. You could educate yourself thousands of years. If you never take action, you never succeed.
Hey, Dream Builder, if you are anything like me, you know the importance of setting goals and achieving those goals. And anytime you find something interferes with that, ultimately it interferes with your happiness. And if that's you, or if you're in a rut right now, I want to encourage you to check out BetterHelp.com. Now, BetterHelp is not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It's professional counseling that's done securely online. BetterHelp will assess your needs, and they'll match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You can send a message to your counselor at any time, and you'll get timely and thoughtful responses back. Plus, you can schedule weekly, video, or even phone sessions, all without having to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room. Regardless if you're dealing with depression, grief, anxiety, or anything along those lines, there's a licensed professional just waiting on the other side to help you. And of course, I want to help you as well. I want you to start living a happier life today. And because you're a part of the Dream Nation tribe, and as a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/DreamNation. Again, that's betterhelp.com/DreamNation. And you can join over 1 million people who have taken the charge of bettering their mental health. Now let's get back to it. Right. So a lot of people, they're okay with taking the action, but I think that at the back end, they're really scared of failing.
Yeah.
Right? So
I'm not scared of failing, man. I'm like,
talk to me about it.
Honestly, I prayed about it. I was like, man, God, if you're going to show me failure or my worst, show me now so I can be better in the future. It is what it is with me. If I fail, just go back to where I started. If anything happens, I'll just go back to my parents' house, or I'll figure it out. That's how I am. I'll figure it out at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So, when you first started out wholesaling, because a lot of people are looking for community, you said you found a $10 meetup. How valuable was that meetup for you? Or was it just like, nah, I was already doing it, I just needed a place to be able to ask questions at? Or was that a lot of how you were able to really keep your inspiration going in the times that it got hard?
Man, it was mind-blowing, really, because I paid $10 and that changed my whole life, because they would have a meetup, then they'd have a meetup after a meetup. So the meetup after the meetup was like 10 people, and that's where the real game is at. I don't know why they invited me, but they invited me all the time. And then I really learned and connected with those people, and I'm still cool with them to this day. And I started this in 2016. And of course, a lot of those people was way older than me. They was like 40 plus. And at the time I was 22, 23. I don't know, I guess they seen something in me, but learning from people that's been in the game a while, it boosts you up maybe like 10 years. So that's how it scales so quickly when other people are struggling. So just being there, listening to what people said, $10 advice, I bought my first property, no money out of my pocket, and I walked through with a $22 check. And no money out the pocket at all.
How did you structure it? People, because everybody's thinking right now, how did you structure this?
Just listening to somebody else, because he bought like 40 properties in a year. And I was like, how did you do that? So I'm going to tell you. So leveraging credit, time, and relationships. So I leveraged my credit, had good credit. I was like 740 or something like that. So I secured a bank loan from the bank. And then they say you need the 20% down. You got to have 20%. So the other 20% that's needed, I did owner finance with the owner. So the purchase price was $56,000. I got a bank loan for $45,000, and I owner finance $11,000 with the owner. So that was 100% of the purchase price. My bank loans, I think, was $380, and then the owner finance was $200 for 3 years, and the balloon payment on the end. So my total payment was $580. The cash flow, the rent was $850. I'm sorry. So I still had cash flow of 300 plus. I walked into this with purchase price 56,000. At the time that I bought it, it would appraise at 73,000. And then I painted the whole house, changed the floors in 2 rooms, and then once all that completed, it appraised at $100,000.
So you bird it from the start.
That's it. So once it appraised at 100, I got a line of credit on the rest of the equity, and I just used the line of credit to fast forward my real estate career.
That's what's up, man. Do you still use this method today? Because you teach a lot of people how to get started with creative financing.
Yeah. So I tell people, start where you are. So if you have good credit, you don't have to start with wholesaling. You need to figure out what wholesaling is. You need to know what it is. But if you have good credit, leverage your credit and just get started. If you want to buy rentals. So you can leverage banks, you can leverage owner finance, you can leverage business credit. There's a million ways to get started. You just have to get started where you are. You don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to have the best credit. And you don't really have to have a network. You just have to figure out where you are and how could you get started in the game.
Got it. Now, a lot of people, they struggle with this owner financing thing because they're like, well, why wouldn't they just want to get all of their money out right now? If they're going to sell the property, why wouldn't they want somebody to give them that big lump sum? How have you been able to convince sellers that owner financing is the route to go?
Right. So it's all about listening. So you don't just go in there and say, hey, I see you got this property for $30,000. You want to owner finance? No, you got to figure out what situation is going on and how much money do they really need to go on to the next thing that they want to do. So that's what you got to do. That's what I do with the first property. Just listening, talking, building rapport over time. Like, hey, what's really going on? Why do you want to sell this property? I really have a doctor bill I got to pay, or I plan to move into Texas. And then you start talking about that. So why you want to go to Texas? What's the plans out there? You plan on buying a house? You plan on renting a house? What's really going on? And then once you start talking to them, they lay it out for you. So once they lay it out, you build a plan for their problem, because that's what we are. We're real estate investors, we're problem solvers. So in my situation, she was moving to Texas and she just needed a down payment for her new place. So the down payment might have been $30,000 or something like that. So I was like, how about I give you, would you be open to 80% of this purchase price that I can give you in cash, and then owner finance another 11? Because if I pay you, 45, 50,000, I think it was 46,000 in cash, that cover your down payment that you're looking for. Would you be open to that? Because I can help you in the next 20 to 30 days. She was like, I don't know about that. I got to pray to God and see. She called me back 2 hours later, and she was down for it because I solved her problem that she was looking for. She just wanted to sell the house to get a down payment for her new house. So she helped me and I helped her at the same time. So it's all about figuring out the problem. How could you solve it? It's always a way to solve the problem. You just got to figure out and be creative with the way that you pitch it.
Yeah, no, man, I love that. And that's what I tell people all the time. Like, you are problem solving. We always think transactional, but I love what you said earlier. You said credit. What'd you say? Something relationships. You gotta leverage other people.
Credit, relationships, money, time, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, you said credit, time, and relationships, right? So I was thinking in my mind, it was like CTR, because in the online world, we always talk about like click-through rates, right? I know click-through rates, especially if anybody watches YouTube, or you probably watching this at right now, click-through rates. So I'm thinking, the click-through rate, it's not really, the CTR is credit, time, and relationships, which are all three very, very important, especially to somebody who's busy and they're thinking about getting into real estate. So I love that you said that. For you, do you use any systems now, or has it always kind of been you doing all the work?
Shit, I'll be honest. When I first started, I was just go. I heard about Podio, had it, but didn't really use it. I'm all about simple, very simple. Use a notebook and keep it going. But now we use Podio. We have VAs with the team. So now it's all about systems, because if you're trying to scale, you gotta have a system. You can't really scale and you scatterbrain all over the place. So yeah, we got VAs. We have Podio. What else we got? We got, of course, PropStream, all that. So yeah, we have systems now.
Got it.
We're trying to scale, man.
I hear you. Do Do you use a lot of hard money now, or what is that? Because a lot of people, if they're listening at this and they say, listen, I don't have a lot of money and my credit's not the greatest right now. But I do know that there's some hard money people out there, but I don't necessarily know how to even contact them or whatnot. For you, or has hard money ever been something that's been valuable to your business?
I'll be honest, I never used hard money until the last 6 months. So
Why'd you start?
because I'm trying to scale to the next level, and I just recently quit my job in September. So if I want to have 3 flips going at one time, I still want to purchase rentals at the same time. I need as much money and as many money sources as possible. So I'm using small banks and hard money lenses at this time. I have 2 hard money loans out at this moment, and I'm trying to do my third one right now at this moment. So the reason I use them now is because I'm trying to close as fast as possible and scale as fast as possible. So yeah, I'm using them now.
So you're using the hard money lenders to acquire the property, and then obviously you still got your credit, and then you got other properties that you could probably leverage against. So then you could get basically and burn all those things. But that's what allows you to get the credit or the close really quickly is with the hard money.
Exactly. So use the hard money, buy it, fix it, rehab it, and then refinance with a small bank to keep it.
Got it. Now, before we hopped on the live, you were also talking about another way that a lot of people don't know about, and that's using credit cards.
Yeah.
Right? How has credit cards helped you to build your portfolio?
So once I heard about business credit, I was like, damn, I didn't know we could do this. So, what I do, research a little bit, and then I apply for business credit cards. I think the first round I ever got was 32,000, something like that. So once I got the cards, I was like, well, how you take the money off the cards? When I researched that, started taking money off the cards. So the first time I used business credits for a rehab that I did in 2017, I believe. So took the money off the cards, used it for the rehab, paid the contracts, bought the materials, and then, I got through the deal. And then once we closed the deal, pay the cards back, and it's a wash, rinse, and repeat cycle. So it's all about using OPM. It doesn't really matter where the money comes from as long as it's not at your own pocket. And if the deal makes sense, leverage your credit cards. Because it's interest free, 12 to 15 months. So it's same as cash. Why not use it?
Hey, Dream Builder, are your home and auto policies almost up for renewal? If so, and you're looking for a lower rate, I believe I have a solution for you, and it's called Policy Genius. Policy Genius makes it easy to compare home and auto rates in one place. They can help you find home and auto coverage similar to what you have now, but at a lower price. And the best part is they've saved customers on average $1,250 per year over what they're already paying for home and auto insurance. Getting started is super easy. First, just head on over to policygenius.com and answer a few questions about yourself and your property, and then Policy Genius takes it from there. They'll compare rates from America's top insurers, from Progressive to Allstate, to find you the lowest quote. So head on over to policygenius.com to get started right now. Again, that's policygenius.com, and you can find out when it comes to insurance, how they help you get it right. Now let's go ahead and hop back into it. Now, 2 things that I have. First off, somebody's looking or listening to this right now, and they're saying, okay, well, how do I get the money off the credit card? Because there's things like cash advances, but those are super expensive. Like, how do I get the money off? How do you get it off?
And they got plenty of ways to do it. So, of course, they got the cash advance. You use the PayPal, Google Wallet, a lot of different things like that. But the best way to do it is you tell a friend, I'll be like, hey, Casanova, is there any way you can send me an invoice from your podcast for like $20,000, and I'll swipe my credit card. Once the money goes in your account, if you don't mind just giving it to me. That way you have no fees. But the thing about it is you want to use it like a dummy LLC, a dummy business. You don't want to use like a real business and invoice each other. Because, that comes back on the books and all that. Well, I don't know. It depends on how you want to do it. But that's the easiest and smoothest way to do it. Get a few friends to say, hey, send me an invoice for a certain price or whatever. Use your card, and then you get the money back from them once they hit their bank account. Another way to do it is, around Christmas time, holidays. Hey, everybody, buy the gifts on my credit card. Just give me the money once I use my card.
Yeah, no, that's solid. I mean, I hear so many scenarios of how people get them off. So I'm always interested. And it's just crazy how so many people are creative. But that just goes to show, like when people say, oh, I don't have any money. Well, if you do have a little bit of credit and you do have a credit card, if the deal is worth it, you'll figure it out. right? You'll be creative, but just like you said, the deal has to make sense, because don't do something if you already don't know what your exit strategy is going to be with this, right?
Exactly.
That's where you'll get in trouble at, because then and you really got to factor in that everything will not go right. Right?
Nah,
People are always, oh yeah, I got a slam dunk. It's like, there's no such thing, right?
Yeah, I say at least budget for 5,000 over, or for like the oops, or with the F moments, because it's gonna happen.
Right.
When you look at a house, you can't cover everything.
You
something is gonna be messed up.
Right. No, 100%. Now, are you using like text marketing or anything like that now? Because I know that's become a new wave that people are, not as much on the phone calls, because a lot of the times they don't answer. So you're using text marketing and trying to drive at least the interest of sellers that way. Do you guys implement that in your system?
Yeah, we do. So first is cold call, and then we do text blast. So I'm a head over disposition. So once I look up a number, I'm calling them twice, double dial. If they don't answer, I'm shooting them a text, but like, hey, Paul, just give me a call. So I'll leave it blank like that, leave it open-ended, so they'll be like, hey, who's this? You don't want to say like, hey, I'm looking to buy your house, because they're going to be like, I'm tired of getting these messages. They probably got like 20 of them already. So you just be like, hey, Paul, this on there, just give me a call. They be like, damn, who's this?
And when that conversation, right when that person gives you a call and they say, hey, you sent me a text message, what is this regarding? What are you saying?
Shit, I get on the phone like I've been knowing them. I'm like, hey, Paul, what's going on, man? It's O'Neal. A long time no see. They be like, O'Neal, where I met you at? Man, you don't remember we met like two years ago in Home Depot or Lowe's? And just start talking like that, because you break down those walls, because most people, when you get on the phone, it's like their guards up. Like, who you call? Why you calling me? What are you talking about? This and that. I get on the phone like we've been knowing each other. So they'd be like, oh, I really don't remember, but what's going on? Oh man, I was just calling, checking up on you. But why I have you on the phone? I did pass by a house. It may be yours. Are you familiar with this property? And then bam, it's smooth after that. Because most people get on the phone and be like, hey, is this your property? And and they be like, nah, I'm done. Now, if you get on the phone like you've been knowing them, they kind of open to talking to you and be like, they're trying to figure out, did I really meet this guy, or I don't remember? And then, you got to break down the walls. That's the most important part of real estate. Let the guards down. Because nobody wants to talk to somebody that's unfamiliar.
Right. And nobody wants to feel like they're about to be sold something.
Exactly.
Right? So
it work every time, bro. You just got to be smooth with it, man. You got to be smooth.
I like it.
A lot of people not smooth, man.
Yo, that's what's up. On your journey, man, let me ask, has there been any books, because people love books, even though some people, it feels like that's even more work to try to read, but we also know there's so much knowledge, so much wisdom, so many strategies in books. Has there been anything that has really helped you to accelerate your path by reading or listening to something? You mentioned YouTube earlier. What YouTube videos did you start out watching?
Man, the first video I watched was Phil Pusiask, and of course, the first book I bought was his. So I'll be honest, I have never read a book from cover to cover until I got into real estate. And the first book I got was his, because it was free, and it was How to Become a Real Estate Investor. And I read his story. He was broke, living in his truck, and now he's, mega millionaire, multimillionaire. So read that book, that inspired me. I was like, shit, if he could do it, I could do it.
I could do it. Yo, that's the theme of this show. If he could do it, I could do it.
Yeah, that's me and my mindset is, he put his pants on just like mine. So if he can do it, why can't I?
That's what's up, man. No,
you gotta think about it. A lot of people give out exactly what they do. It's just some people, they don't take the action on it, or they think it's too hard.
Right.
Everybody in books, YouTube is all over. How you become a millionaire, or how you become rich, or how you open a daycare, how you become a real estate investor. They give you the information. You just got to take action on the information.
Facts. That's what I say. And most people nowadays, they just want access, right? I always say the information is not scary. So with most people, when you're paying for it, you're paying for access. You're not paying for whatever that product or that service is. Yeah. You're paying to pick up the phone and call that person, which is the most valuable thing that we all have to offer is our time. Right?
Because the information is out there, just scattered, just not all in one place. You're going to pay for it being all in one place, and you actually talking to that person, getting direct access and straight to the point. That's what you're paying for.
Facts. Now, man, looking at your journey and how much wiser that you are when you first started and everything that you've learned, is that if there's one thing that you wish that you would have implemented sooner to accelerate your path on your journey, what would that one thing be?
Damn, that's good. Burn more, like to buy the properties and then rehab them and then refinance those properties. Because I didn't refinance a property. Well, I did the burr in 2017, but I really wasn't, it didn't come to my head of what I really did. And then once I really figured out what it was, I was like, God damn, why didn't Ben do this? Because all the properties that I bought after rehab and everything, I was all in at like 60 to 65%. So I left a lot of equity. But at the same time, I don't really refinance a property if I don't need to, just to walk away with 20, 30,000, because at the end of the day, I'm in my 20s and my 30s. I'm trying to pay off all the real estate I have. So I walk away debt free in my 40s and then I keep scaling. So, I don't know. I think I should have bought more properties. I think in my first year, I bought 13. So right now I'm at 22. So I should have just kept buying more properties. I should have focused directly on buying and not doing everything. Because I was doing wholesaling, buying, rehabbing, everything at one time. So I should have just focused strictly on buying real estate, not doing all that at once.
Got it. So focusing on the long term of acquiring and building wealth rather than trying to focus on the short term of flipping them off to somebody else for a quick payment.
Yeah. I was doing it all. I was doing too much at once. I wasn't focused on one thing at one time.
Got it.
Yeah. I was trying to get paid off of everything.
I hear you there. I think a lot of us have that itis, right? We want to have our hands in everything. And some people probably listening or watching this right now and they're like, Casanova, you got you. So I'm like, yo, let's move on to the next question because they're gonna probably look at me. Yo, no, that's what's up, man. I guess the last question that I have for you is for somebody that's out there that's listening at this and they love your story, they're inspired by your journey, they want to stay connected with you, but they got that little voice in their head, and we always have that little voice, and that little voice says that they're not strong enough, they're not smart enough, or maybe they just don't have enough resources to do what you've done. What's the one thing that you would leave them with to get them to just take action?
I'll say put yourself in a different space or different areas. So when I started, I was had a lot of sacrifice to make. You gotta think about that. You can't really listen to people that's never done what you're trying to do. If your parents is not where you want to be, my advice is not to take their advice, because if you're not where I'm trying to go, how could you give me the advice that I need? Listen to the people that's actually doing what you're doing, that's further than you, and just stay away from all the BS, because toxic relationships, toxic energy could really, put you down and not elevate you or inspire you to go further and faster. So separate yourself from the people that's not doing what you want to do, and surround yourself around the people that is doing what you want to do, and then be positive. Of course, you're gonna have a lot of failure, but at the end of the day, if you stay consistent with what you want to do, you will reach success.
That's what's up. No, that's super, super sound advice, my brother. I mean, there's so many people out there that, they trying to be a doctor, but they listening to plumbers.
Yeah, man. Oh, they trying to get in real estate, but they listen to the guy at the oil change place. Come on, bro.
That is never gonna work. Man, for anybody, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I'll stay away from all that. Like, still to this day, my parents say something like, all right, it's all good. Still doing it though.
Right.
Because when I built my first house, I ain't tell them till a week before closing.
Why? You just thought you knew that they was gonna have something to say that
I don't want to hear none of negative energy. They was like, why are you doing that? You can't handle that. Like, I feel you're my parents, but you, at the end of the day, you don't know what I can handle because you don't have the same mindset as me.
I respect it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So for anybody, first off, I want to be the first one to say thank you, and I appreciate you, my brother. If nobody else has told you today, you've dropped so much wisdom. For anybody who wants to stay connected with you, where can they find you at?
Holla at me on Instagram, O'Neal J. Parker. And you can also shoot me a text. I got my number in my bio, so shoot me a text if you have any questions or anything. You can also go on my website, O'Neal, ONEIL Parker.com. Shoot at me. You can connect with me on there as well. Cool. But I'm most active on Instagram.
God, what about Clubhouse?
Oh, yeah, that too. We got a morning show every morning, man. Business Over Breakfast, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Central. You can catch me on that too.
That's what's up, man. Well, again, my brother, I want to say thank you for coming, blessing us with your presence on the show and dropping so much wisdom. I look forward to when this releases and also hearing the feedback. Remember, Dream Nation, just as he said, you got to take action. You got to protect your energy, because if you don't, that dream that you have, and we all have a dream, it will only merely be a fantasy. That's all for this one. We'll catch you on the next one. That's all we got for this episode. Thank you for sticking around. That truly means a lot to me, and hopefully that means that we delivered massive value on this one. If you haven't already, the way that you could say thank you to myself and the team is just by heading over to iTunes and leaving a review and a rating. That's what iTunes loves to see. That's how we get out there even more, and I would definitely be grateful for it. I know the team would as well. Do me a favor and head on over to DREAMNationPodcast.com. That's where you're going to be able to find all of the resources that we talked about in today's episode, as well as more exclusive content. And you'll also be able to sign up to our email list where we have more exclusive content. And we always love to hear the feedback from you all, because you're our tribe. So remember, in the dream we trust. We'll see you on the flip side.